Danny, it's so good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. I always look at you as one of the rare people who I get to meet who's got so much knowledge and still just a really normal, nice person.
Thank you so much. I'm just like you, man. Just like you. Welcome to a new episode of Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid Ahmed. We have Danny Dodge here, an inventor, a videographer, an awesome dude I met through Facebook, and one of his greatest inventions, the Cinerails. So, Danny, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh my goodness! You know, it's like trying to describe a bad dog. You just don't know it, just in your face so much. I don't know, man. I'm one of these guys who, when I started out as a kid, I was very, very bashful, and I didn't realize this until later in life. But my mom was the exact same thing, and when she hit a certain age, it's like, wow, my mouth just won't stop. So I continually talk, and I was like, I'm out there now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still bashful inside, but I've learned to use the old mouth just to communicate. So it, takes care of all those dead spots in the conversation. So I know that people are not getting bored. They may be getting weirded out by what I say, but they're not bored.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, but in any case, I'm just a guy who started out in college, didn't know what I was going to do. Suddenly a kid said, hey, why don't you try this TV class because it's fun and everything, and it stuck, and now I'm in that business and have been for 33 years. It's just weird.
That is amazing. I mean, if somebody had told me to take a TV class at that time as well, I'd be like, wow, why not?
Yeah.
And so I didn't grow up in the typical United States, growing up, going to school and whatnot. I actually grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So it was different. But when I finished my high school and whatnot, and that's when I came to the United States and I joined the community college. And the one thing that I lacked was, somebody telling me what the heck to do. Right. I knew I loved computers, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to do the computer thing.
Yeah.
And start doing that kind of stuff. And what's funny is that when you talk about this TV class, one of the requirements to do when you go to college is, you got to take these requirement basic classes.
Yeah.
And one of them was arts. And I joined theater. And I attended first class, and I was like, you know what? This is not for me. I was a very introvert. Being on the computer, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And now I'm kicking myself. I should have, done it because it makes you such a better, public speaker, as well as being able to contemplate what you want to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm doing all of these things because, I understand it from a totally different perspective. I'm not a teenager. I'm not a youth anymore, over, I've crossed the 40 limit, and they say, before you're 40, you don't have the wisdom doesn't kick in.
Yeah,
really.
I can tell you it's not even till 50 with me. So,
well, you are a lucky man. I look at your videos on Facebook, and I see all the inventions that you're making, and it's all. I mean, invention is just a matter of need, and I just love the different things that you're working on.
I've seen you doing some stuff lately. It's really cool. I like that. And I love Facebook, but I mean, it's not like I'm sneaking on you, all right? But
no,
you're doing cool stuff, man. I got to watch.
Absolutely. That's the entire reason. And I've got my sons hooked up on it. My son's like, can we do a Facebook Live today? We're going to a swimming class.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. One time, actually, so I got my son a small camera. It's waterproof. So we went to the Cayman a couple of years ago, and I was like, this would be perfect. We're going to be swimming. He can take pictures, whatever. So I saw him using that camera, facing himself. It was on the tripod, and he's eating lunch, or he's eating breakfast, and he's talking to the camera, and the camera is recording. He's like, okay, guys, this is how I start my day. I have some breakfast, and then he's talking to the camera, and he's, just having his breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what are you doing? It's like, I'm just recording and telling people about my day.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going to post it? I'm like, I don't know, Facebook or YouTube. And it's really amazing that, this generation of people, they have so many tools available.
Oh, they sure do.
It's just so amazing. And it just all about creativity and, just getting out there and doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I love that about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My kids got the bug. I told them, I don't ever want you to start your own business. I know the hardships, and oh, doggone it. Grandpa's genes went straight through me, right into them. They're doing the same.
Yep.
But it's creativity, like you said, and it's really good.
It is. I mean, when they see somebody doing something and they're loving what they're doing, everybody wants in on that. It's like, why am I not doing that? Right?
Yeah. It's a great motivator.
It is. It is. And sure, people talk about, there's a lot of stuff on Instagram and YouTube, and people just show the good side of things that, but there's a lot of hardships definitely involved. And not a lot of people talk about it, but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think it's, for me, Facebook had to become it's kind of like I don't know. It's something where it's like a rubber band. You just pull that rubber band back, and boom, it just slings.
It does.
And Facebook was the same thing. I got excited about it, and I just went off on it. Well, suddenly that rubber band hit its end mark, which was my thumb. And it was like, this don't feel so good anymore. I'm having to talk to everybody so much, and I love people like crazy, but man, this is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people right about this time are getting into that stage, and they're recognizing that, they're probably spending almost too much time, or they're letting it draw them in, with these bad conversations, things like that. So Facebook is just like anything else, everything in moderation, and it's good. I mean, I've had to learn that lesson over and over and over about the moderation thing, because I was an inventor in an extreme way. I started out when I was a kid, about 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
I got a motor out of a Hot Wheels. It's a little electric motor.
Nice.
Tied a wire onto the end of that. And I started it spinning, and then I looked down at the ground, and I took that thing, I started cutting grass with it. I said, "Hey, Mom, check this out. I made a new lawnmower." I remember her exact words. "That's nice, honey." I'm going, "Mom." 10 years later, after the guy invents one called the Weed Eater, I'm going, "Mom, we could have been rich."
Yeah.
Oh, but anyhow, I got onto that later in life just because I heard a friend made about $3 million on the sale of one product.
Oh, man.
On an invention. And it was the silliest product. It was a conical looking piece of rubber, and it was used to create a shock on a mountain bike. He got $3 million for that thing.
Wow.
Buddy, I was back on invention, but it was a bad thing because I did not do it in moderation, and I went overboard.
Yeah. There's something they call the social proof, right? That's important to get an idea. Okay, what are the people looking for? What can I invent? Like, what's problem can I solve? Because a lot of times we're solving our own problems, and when we're passionate about it, and that's where the cine rails, I think, came from, right? You're probably working on.
Oh yeah, I solved the problem because I didn't have one.
Yeah, you didn't have one, and you wanted something that was cheap and something affordable and something that was so
portable. Was a big deal.
Portable, because nothing is portable in that kind of space.
Yeah, in film. Yeah. You pay big money for portability in film. I didn't like that. I didn't have the money to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's what's amazing about it. And so the reason I started this Hacks and Hobbies podcast was to simply talk about the many different things I have been doing for the past few years. I mean, here and there, Facebook Live. I think last year I don't remember doing a lot. But I've been following the internet trends and the internet in a way that, I see all these people doing things and getting famous for it or making money off of it. And I'm like, it's a very simple formula.
Yeah.
I just got to apply it the right steps along the way, right?
Yeah.
And now, 10 years later, Facebook's like 12 years old, YouTube's over 12 years old. And, there's all of these platforms, and people are, becoming models on Instagram, and they're talk show hosts on YouTube, and, they have their own TV shows. And it's just amazing. The ability to do essentially anything now is more prominent than ever.
Oh, it is. You could not. I remember I had great inventions. Matter of fact, I don't know how I probably couldn't count on two hands how many inventions were literally stolen by large companies because they knew I had no money to put them in process or to sue them for stealing it. But that's all changed because of crowdfunding websites like Indiegogo and Kickstarter.
Oh my God.
You can now put your idea out there. As long as you have an actual product that you've made and proved, you can put it out there and you no longer have to bootstrap yourself. People will pre-buy your product, allowing you to have enough money to go forward with that project and do something about it. So it's changed, like you said.
Oh, yeah. It's changed so much. And you don't have to tell me about Kickstarter. I have 240 backed projects.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
I am huge on Kickstarter. I've been thinking of putting things on there, but I'm like, what am I going to put on there?
Yeah.
Almost 8 years ago, I created this walking thing and I called it the Transpotter. And my son was 8 months old, and I was like, I need a walker for him. So I got these PVC pipes.
Oh, I saw that. That's cool.
Yeah. And I put it all together. I'm like, here you go, son. And then, he walked around the house using that for a couple of months. And then, he could walk by himself. I was like, that would be a cool item to produce. And then since you've got PVC pipes all around, you can even mount a camera on it. You can mount all these cool things on it. And then you have this eye view camera kind of thing, sliding around. But I was like, okay, it took me about 4 hours to assemble the damn thing with glue.
Wow, that's quick.
Right. But it took me a while to like get those dimensions right. And I didn't do any 3D drawing. I was like, can I bring this into a 3D modeling computing, so then maybe I can contact them. But I never went down that path because we all have 9-to-5 jobs. I mean, I'm not sure about you, but most of the...
No, I got it like a 24-hour job.
Yeah, there you go. You got it bad. So, I was like, okay, I need to come up with something. And so now I'm talking about these hobbies. I'm talking about these hacks on this podcast. And I've been doing this for about 6 months now, I think.
Uh-huh.
I mean, initially, it all started, okay, I'm going to document the process of beekeeping since I'm a beekeeper.
Yeah.
And I started, documenting it on the podcast. Now I'm talking to other enthusiasts, other hobbyists, other hackers, and other people who are in business for themselves and, in basically working, their dream jobs.
Yeah.
And it's like, who better than to talk with Danny Judge?
I don't know about that one. I could sure show you how not to do things. That's for darn sure.
That is the number one thing our instructor told us for beekeeping. It's like when you become an experienced beekeeper, you have a long list of things what not to do.
Yeah.
So that list is a very, very valuable list.
Expensive. Yeah. And you know what, Junaid? I never kept bees, but I could tell you everything you need to know about bees because my dad had hundreds of hives, took us to them to extract the honey. He had a professional extractor in the garage, and I could tell you numbers of ways to tick a bee off to the point where you're running for your dear life. I know that game well.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna stay away from those things to do because
it's really bad when you when you clothe up and everything, and there's one little hole and a darn bee gets in there and he starts stinging you.
Yep, he'll sting you up.
Oh yeah. My dad actually had 100 stings, probably more than that, but he counted 100 at one time.
Oh my God!
I don't get it. He got stung in the eyeball too.
Oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah, he's one of the toughest guys you'll ever meet. I can guarantee you that. He walks in and says, "Wait, can you pull this stinger out of my eye?" Oh, no, Dad, get out of here now, man.
I don't want to be tainted by that stinger's smell. And they'll be coming at me.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. What's funny is that every time my beekeeper mentor comes over, and he doesn't wear gloves, he just puts a head mask on and he's wearing a t-shirt. And every time he comes, he gets stung once or twice or thrice by my bees. I'm like, I don't know, man. They might not like you.
Yeah.
They don't sting me.
They know your smell.
Yeah.
Well, they are smart little guys because when my dad he had them out at the end of the yard, which was probably 50 feet away from the house. They would literally put sentries at our front and back door that would just buzz around. They'd rotate out.
Oh, really?
You come out the door and they would nail you. Yeah. When he was out there messing around with them, and oh my gosh, he would just do that too often. He loved doing it. He ended up having liver failure. And for those guys who are not experienced with that, that's not something to have, because if you go down that route and you don't get a replacement, you're done.
Yeah.
And I think that those 100 stings plus however many he got after that added up over the years and just took his liver down. So be cautious on that one. You can be a bad off kind of a guy, but yeah, there's results.
No, absolutely. I make sure that I suit up before I mess around with those bees, because
buddy. Yeah, you're smart. And Nate, I really like you.
Thank you, man.
Because I can watch anything that you do, and I go, I'm not going to learn anything dumb from him.
Oh, man.
This is
you. So you've been talking about Facebook, and how you're doing Facebook Live videos, and you're doing a lot of outreach, essentially, of your inventions. I mean, I really like that hood mount that you made. And it's really cool, because to tell you the truth, about 8-9 years ago, I bought me a camcorder, and it was like HD, and you could put an SD card in it and all that. And I was like, all right, this thing is going to be awesome. And then about all these car mounts, I would mount this camcorder on my car and drive through like different cool routes. And I still have that footage. And I actually went up and down this one mountain road like 4 times. People might be like, why does this guy keep driving up and down these roads? And I had the camera pointing different direction every time, because I just had one camera. That's the thing. When you have one camera, you got to do multiple runs.
Yeah.
When you get like 3-4 cameras, then you're like, yeah, I got it. That's it in one. Right? You can never have enough lenses, right?
Yeah.
So it's been great following you. So Facebook is huge. Facebook is great for live. Actually, we had a event last night here, LinkedIn local event, where we live streamed the whole thing. And I use this app called Switcher Studio. Switcher Studio is amazing. Unfortunately, it only runs on an iOS device. I don't know if there's anything Android compatible yet. But what's cool about it is that you can have up to 9 devices connected. So it becomes your switcher, like a switching studio. So you can switch between multiple angles of video.
Wow, that's pretty
in this one application. So, and it has the ability to live broadcast. So you can live broadcast on Facebook, you can live broadcast on YouTube, and you basically get this professional studio type experience as if you're producing a show. It's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
One of the reasons we do these LinkedIn local events, because LinkedIn has embraced video about a year ago. And right now, video is blowing up on LinkedIn. There's about 500 million people on LinkedIn with 275 million active people. And of that 275, there's 1%. There's only 1% of people that are putting out video on LinkedIn. It is so...
Goodness sakes. That's small, but man, that leaves the market wide open for you.
And that's why I'm telling you about it, because you have, you can bring your inventions and bring a different angle and put this stuff on LinkedIn and see what happens.
Yeah, I tell you what, I wish I had more time. I'll give you 2 inputs here, 2 little pieces of information. First off, when you look at the car mount, now that is a very cool contraption, and no, I did not come up with that as we used a kind of an isolation or a vibration isolator like that years ago, when they were recording data on a bus, because they were trying to get data, when anytime somebody pulls a bus up or this or that, they want to have that. They put that on there to keep it so it would continue to record without any glitches.
Yeah,
I saw that and thought it was really cool. Now everyone's using that on these car rigs. But, like with every invention, there are small things that if you change them from the original design that works, it will cause big things to happen, And one of the things that I didn't use was tubing to make my my C connector on that. So I have a little bit of vibratory, it's like rubber band effect on that arm. So what I'm going to have to do is build another support in there to keep that from bouncing. So not everything I do and develop first off works. And matter of fact, most things don't.
That's why it's called a hack.
That's right.
And not the final product.
Yeah. And you'll learn a lot trying to do this. But I think the biggest part for me was to learn not to be be disappointed by my first invention. Say, okay,
Oh yeah.
change it, modify it, learn from it. And that's how you get around it.
That's exactly the rule that we apply when we're doing software development, right? So I'm a UX designer by profession, and we software development.
Yeah,
There's bugs all the time. So you iterate, you make it better, you clean it up, you polish it up. Just like when you're whittling a knife or whittling wood, at a knife, you keep at it till it's sharp, until it's where you want it to be.
Yeah, that's great. It's good to hear another. I think the best thing about something like this and doing podcasts and talking to other people is the collaboration of information. When you say that, when I tell myself, you gotta do it again, you gotta try it, there's a little doubt in me. And I think that happens with a lot of people I talk to. We have self-doubt. When we hear it from other people that, no, you just have to change a little and keep trying, it puts back that solidity in what we're doing. It validates what we're thinking and how we're doing it. It becomes easier, and we all move forward quicker. So I'm a big collaborator. I love collaborating with people.
Nice.
Just like this. You've already given me something out of this conversation that I didn't have. It's just that solidity of, yes, you can change, you can screw up, you can try again, but you will succeed if you continue.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah, see, the problem with the school system today and for the past 50 years is that they've ingrained in our brains that you should not fail.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest bad thing that they've put in our head, because failure is when you grow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do not fail, you will not grow. And
exactly.
All these entrepreneurs, they talk about, hey, fail fast. Like, fail as fast as you can, fall down, because then you'll know what's not working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fail often, fail quickly.
Exactly. One of the funniest thing that happened with me when I started road biking 2 years ago was I bought this cool looking bike, and it had clip-on shoes. I had never ridden with clip-on shoes before.
Oh, gosh.
And I didn't know that, there's a certain level of resistance that you can set up for the spring. So I got all geared up. I got my gloves on, my helmet on, and I get on the bike and I snap my feet in. I'm like, all right, this is perfect. And I start riding. And I'm riding. And then now I got to slow down. Well, I hit the brakes and I'm trying to take my feet off.
Yeah. You notice how I'm right there with you?
Yeah. And then I fall over. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
It happened to me twice.
Oh,
going out and coming back. And I'm like, all right, I guess I need to do a little study about this and figure this out.
Yeah.
And then I got good at it, right? And I got good at it. And then last year I was able to do 1,500 miles.
Oh my gosh.
All together, all on the different rides that I did. So I was very proud of myself. And my goal for this year was, to hit 2,000 miles. But unfortunately, I've only hit 67.
67 miles or 6,700?
67 miles.
Okay, I like that more. You're human, all right?
I didn't go out all crazy. I had a new baby, and so yeah.
Yeah, you're a good father. That is what I always recognize you for, man, is a good father. I see what you do, and
I appreciate it.
Oh gosh, you inspire me because I know at your age, I'm only guessing, but I was a little too heavy into the invention, and I was really thinking about my family. I wanted to support them, and I wanted to stop the invention because it was driving me crazy. People stealing and this and that. But I felt if I stopped, then I wouldn't be supporting my family or taking the potentials. I wish I had stopped.
Absolutely.
Live and learn.
Live and learn. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of family, today my son and I are going to be filming all over this cotton pick in northern Colorado together. And
nice.
Nick and I. So Nick, I don't know if people know, but Nick has a handicap. He can't walk, talk, and he actually eats through a tube in his stomach. But it doesn't make him any less. He is just as fun a kiddo as anything. But today he doesn't have daycare. But today I have a lot of work. So he gets to go work with me today. And
nice.
I've got about 15 minutes to get him ready, get in the car, and actually shoot to the job.
Nice. Well, it was really awesome talking with you, Danny.
Same here, Junaid. I really enjoyed it.
We should definitely do this again. And, I have tons of ideas that we can definitely collaborate on. I mean, I know you have a shop. I know I have a smaller shop. I don't have all the tools that you might have,
You're not as old as me, okay? It took me a while to get there.
No. No, I'm not that old, but you're not either. But what I meant is, you have the expertise in the areas that I don't.
Wow,
you know?
that's weird to hear because when I look up to you and I see your stuff, I go, "Oh, if I could only have been him."
Oh man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Yeah, you got some good stuff there in that old brain there, Junaid. If I had the ability to work computer stuff like you do, I might be well off. I don't know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean,
That's okay.
that's okay.
You got family.
That's why we have teams, right? Because
That's it.
that's why you have partnerships, because you can fill in those gaps that that we don't have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Danny.
Well, it sure has been fun. This has been very interesting. I mean, leave it to Junaid to figure out how to do it the easiest and quickest, and all he had to do is type my name in, and boom, we're doing talks.
Yeah,
You're on one side of the country, I'm on the other side of the country. But it's just wild. I love this stuff.
no, this is really powerful.
Yes.
I love this technology that they've created. There is other solutions that I've used, like for example, Zoom will let you do the recordings, and that way you could be on the phone. And I could be on the phone. We could do video. Actually, I don't know. I haven't tested that part, but I definitely have to be on a desktop for it to record.
Yeah.
But I think they have paid plans where they record everything and put it on their servers, and you can download it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really amazing. I look forward to talking to you more and collaborating in the future. Thank you so
Sounds
much.
really good. Yeah, I look forward to it as well. Thanks so much for inviting me onto this thing, Junaid. Hope you have a really good day. And
thank you.
I'm going to get to work.
One more note. We want people listening to this podcast, I don't know how many there are, to know where to get to Danny Dodge. So you have any links, any specific place they can go to?
Just one word of warning. Don't believe everything you see, okay?
Okay.
But if you go on Facebook, that's the best way to connect up with me is facebook.com/Danny Dodge Live. No spaces in there. And I believe you'll get there. If you're just on Facebook and you don't remember all that, just look up Danny Dodge and you'll see my face there.
Awesome. I will also put the link in the blog post for this podcast for your information, and we could talk to you more soon.
All right. Sounds good. You take care, Junaid. We will talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was the amazing Danny Dodge. You can find him on Facebook, facebook.com/Danny Dodge Live. We'll be adding the links to the podcast and to Danny Dodge on the blog post for this.